Good day. How is everyone doing? Today was a good day, a wonderful day for me. I got a lot of things accomplished. I didn't procrastinate. I didn't have to rush to get things done. Um, Things just fell into place. It was just peaceful. I wasn't dwelling in any type of negativity or drama. I was by myself all day, but I just got things done and it just was running nice and smooth. I just love how today went, right? And I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And I also woke up in a state of gratefulness. So a lot of times your day ends how it begins. Okay? Just keep that in mind, just some food for thought. Now, for those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Deborah Watkins. I am a certified Christian life coach. I'm also an author of several books, but the one that I focus on most when I'm doing my talks is titled From Mediocre to Marvelous, Get Out of Your Rut and Live a Fulfilled Life. As a life coach, I help individuals who are perhaps career-driven or creatives to break the cycle of stopping and starting over. Meaning, a lot of times they get right to the finish line, but never cross over. Or they get halfway to the finish line and never get to the finish line or cross over. You have to cross over the finish line, right? When you're in the race, you don't win just getting to the finish line. You win when you cross over the finish line. And so I want you to break that cycle. And so what happens is when you don't finish and you don't complete, you either start over again saying, oh, okay, well, that's not what I was supposed to be doing. And then you start something else different. And so I want you not to fall into mediocrity. I want you to go from mediocre to living this marvelous, fulfilled life. Now, there's a lot of reasons why. Self-doubt, not being consistent, not developing good habits. Those are the reasons why. That's what I help you work on, because what you want to do is break bad habits, create new ones. You want to create good ones, not new bad habits. You want to create new good habits. Now, the self-doubt comes in a lot of times because of what we say to ourselves, right? The voices. I don't deserve, I'm not capable, who am I fooling? I don't have the support that I need. No one's going to cooperate with me. That's not true. That's not true. We get what we work for. That's what stops you from crossing over a lot of times, is that you're not working on the direction that you want to go into. Now, the direction could be wrong that you're going into, but that's because you don't have clarity. You don't have clarity. And what I want to talk to you today was about rest. The reason why a lot of us don't have clarity about what direction we're supposed to be going into, what it is that we're supposed to be doing, what our purpose is because we don't rest. And let me tell you something. God has called us to rest. He's called us to rest, right? I want to read a few Bible verses, and then I want to talk about this notion of rest. So stay with me. So, let me get my glasses. This is what God says about rest. And this is Matthew 11:28 through 30. He says, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Psalms 4:8, "And peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, God, make me dwell in safety." Exodus 33:14, he says, "My presence will go with you, and I will give you rest." Psalm 62:1, he says, "Truly my soul finds rest in God. My salvation comes from him." And there's several more. There's a ton of verses on rest. Now, rest is, in Hebrew, right? Sabbath. Sabbath. Now, we think of Sabbath, when we hear the word Sabbath, we think of what? We think of church. That's the day of church, day of rest. But it's supposed to be the day of rest, right? It's really not supposed to be the day of church, but that's how a lot of us interpret it. But the word Sabbath in Hebrew means to cease, to stop, to rest. And God gave us that example, right? After he created, on the seventh day, he rested, and he gave the command for them to honor the seventh day of the week, to rest. But some of us have a problem with resting, and we feel like we have to fill up our whole day, every day, all day, doing something or being occupied by something. Now, you see me a lot of times walking in my other videos, and I'm talking about my over 60 movement, where I'm talking about exercise and moving. And I film myself because I'm doing a talk. But when I do my walks, and I walk just about every day, I don't bring my phone with me. I don't bring my phone with me when I walk. That's my time to commune with nature, to listen to God. That's when I get a lot of my creativity and ideas from, is when I'm walking. And I don't have a phone I don't have music in my ears. I don't have music. Okay, learn how to be in quiet and silence. A lady said to me, she said, I can't be in silence. She said, I don't like silence. I don't like, if I'm in the house, I gotta have the TV on, or I have to have music on, I have to have something on. I can't just be in silence. Like, no, I can't, because I don't want to hear what's gonna come into my mind or whatever. I'm afraid of what's gonna come into my mind. And I said, you have to break that. You have to break that, sweetheart. You cannot be afraid of silence. You want it. You should crave it. You should want to hear what God has to say to you. You want clarity. And that's the reason why a lot of us are all over the place, and we're not going in the right directions, because we feel like every single day we have to be doing something. You know, even on vacations, right? People come back from vacation, and what do they say? Oh, I need a vacation from my vacation. I need a vacation after the vacation, because they're exhausted, because they went on this vacation, they went on either excursion or whatever, and every hour of the trip they had to be occupied doing something. Now, in my 20s and 30s, and maybe even 40s, yes, I did all of that, the zip line and not scuba diving because I can't swim, but the parasailing, the jet skiing, all of the stuff that, the climbing, all that stuff that we feel we need to do when we go on those cruises or Caribbean trips or, of that sort. Now that I'm 60, please do not come to me asking me to do anything unless we are sitting on a trolley or a van, and we're going on a little tour. Okay, we're going on a little tour, or we are sitting on the beach. We're going on the bus to go to the beach to sit still, or we're going to maybe take some pictures, flying dresses or something like that. I don't know. Something calm. Okay? Just something calm. I'm not trying to zip, 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 zip. I'm just chilling. I'm just taking it in. That's it. Now, some places, if it's a place that I've never gone to and it's not, a cruise or the Caribbean islands or anything, if it's a place that I haven't been to before, yes, I want to explore. But again, I'm not trying to explore every single day. I'm not trying to, some days I might just want to sit outside of the hotel, if there's an outdoor cafe or whatever, and just people watch. I might just want to do that, all right? But I'm not trying to zip, 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 fill up every single hour of this trip. I want to maybe go to a museum and just sit and watch. After I've gone around and looked at a few exhibits, I might just want to sit and watch and just take in the place and just chill. Or go to a science museum. You learn a lot. When you go places and you go to the Museum of Natural History and Sciences, you learn a lot about the area. Now, I do international travel, but I also do a lot of domestic travel. And a lot of people haven't been to all 50 states. I'm one of them. That's one of my bucket list things to do. I want to see all the states. And so when I go to a different state that I've never been to, I'll go to their museum. You learn a lot. You learn about the resources of that area, history, there's a lot that you learn. But I got off on a tangent, I know. But my point was, I just want to do calm things. I just want to do calm things. So that when I get back, I'm not feeling like, oh, I need a vacation from a vacation. No, because I was chilling on my vacation. I don't know about anybody else, okay? Now, I need for you to develop the habit of not having to be on that phone 24/7, 365. Now, I said it before in another video. When I get up in the morning, I don't get on that phone. I do not get on that phone. And, it's funny because people jump on me, they're like, look at your phone. Nope. Well, what if it's an emergency? I'm not an emergency person, an EMT. All right? Well, what if somebody's in the hospital? Well, they're in the right place. And when I see the message, then I'll go up to the hospital and see about them. But I'm not a doctor or a nurse or whatever. What can I do? And then, hopefully we had the right type of relationship that I don't have any regrets, that I didn't get to say something to them if it was something, that major or serious. So, think about it. Now, I am 60, so I grew up in the 60s and 70s, right? We didn't have, in the 60s and 70s, we didn't have cell phones. You didn't have cell phones. That's what, something, what? How did y'all live? How did y'all survive? We did. We lived. We survived. And guess what? I don't know nobody who was left on the side of the road or died on the side of the road. That's the biggest thing that people say is when you tell them that you don't have your cell phone with you or whatever. Well, what if I'm on the side of the road? I don't know nobody who left here on the side of the road. Do you know anybody left here on the side of the road? I mean, really? Back then when we was coming up, who was on the side of the road? If they were, it could still happen today, okay? That you'll be on the side of the road, all right? Somebody still was going to, and it's funny because we got these cell phones and everything, and then we got all these missing people in the world, right? But because the biggest fear is don't have your cell phone, you're gonna be on the side of the road somewhere. And nobody knows where you're at, or they can't find you or whatever. So obviously, the cell phone cannot keep you if danger is around you. Now, I don't take that phone with me when I go for a walk. I don't pick that phone up first thing in the morning. Even though they say, well, you should look at the phone because it could be an emergency and somebody's on the side, somebody's on the right side of the road. Or I don't know. Because if it does happen, and let's just say it does happen, and the state troopers pull up, right, to your car, the cops or somebody eventually come check out your car, they're gonna look at the license, and they're gonna, if you don't have a phone or whatever, they're gonna look at your license, they're gonna look it up, and if it's not a stolen car, they're gonna be able to identify you and get in contact with whoever, your family or whoever, right? They'll be able to get in contact with you if you just wind up in a ditch on the side of the road. So, I don't care about this cell phone. I don't. But I answer it when I get ready, and I look for messages when I get ready. Because I'm not gonna start my day off scrolling and looking at stuff and looking for messages and looking to see who called me and look. I don't care. I don't. Because during the course of the day, whoever is supposed to get in contact with me is going to get in contact with me, and I'm going to get in contact with them. Because we need to learn how to rest. We need to learn how to just focus and meditate and read the word and then meditate on the word. Read the word and then wait and listen to what God has to say to you, because I want you to go from mediocre to marvelous and live a fulfilled life. And I want you to have rest. Rest for your weary soul. Rest for you. And that's a part of the habits. That's the part of the developing the habits. And so I'm working with someone and they'll say, I don't have enough time to do that. I don't have time to do that. I don't have time. You have time. I don't have time to meditate. You have time. Well, I work. I know you work. I have children. I know you have children. I have a husband or a wife. I know you have a spouse. But you still have time. Now, if you're on a place of work where you get a lunch break and you get to leave, right? You get to have your lunch and then not have it at your desk. That's a time to be silent and to meditate. That's an example of you do have time. You can carve out time, but you like to fill it up. The first thing you want to do is get on that phone, look at messages. No, get your lunch, go out to the car. If being inside the building or whatever, people are going to distract you, go to your car, sit there in silence. Listen. Hear what God might be wanting to say to you. Don't put on any music. Don't put on the phone. Don't get on the phone. Don't put on the radio. Listen. You have the time. In your car, when you're driving, let's say you have a 30 or 40 minute ride to work. Don't put on the radio. Drive in silence. Listen. Drive in silence. Learn to be in silence so that you can get clarity on some things. Okay, that's it. That's my talk for today. Sabbath. Rest. Woosah. Bye-bye.